Welcome back to Cinema Cult Network. I am Chris.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Honto.
And we're doing a special now playing on 2022's The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson.
Pattinson.
I've always said Patterson.
You just learned something new today.
I did. This is a very educational episode.
Yes.
So at this point, the movie has been out for a few weeks, but it is dropping. They're doing one of those and I don't think anybody's done this yet, but it comes out for like a month in the theater and then it drops.
Yeah, it's Warner Brothers is doing it. It's 45 days to stream.
It is 45 days? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, from its initial release. Is this the first one to do it?
No, James Bond did it, but they didn't do it with James Bond, or they didn't do it with HBO. They did it with streaming in general.
I'm sorry, I meant like with Warner Brothers. Is this Warner Brothers' first 45 days of streaming movie?
Well, I thought they were doing the hybrid of streaming first, take it off after a month, and then they.
That was the original,
put it in theaters.
Like when they did like Godzilla versus Kong, stuff like that.
Yeah, Dune especially was.
Yeah, it was like for a month and then it was gone. Matt, you okay there?
Puberty.
Year 2 of Cinema Cult.
Yeah. But regardless, whether it is or not, that's what they're doing. It's 45 days in the theater, and then it'll be on HBO at the same time.
I imagine they would only pull this move because they make a lot of money through the app. You know, with it dropping 45 days out of theater, right?
I mean, I guess it's almost the equivalent of. I feel like they used to do this a lot back in the day, but like theaters, and then you could do the pay-per-view type deal.
That was a thing for a while.
Not necessarily 45 days, but it would be like before rentals.
Yeah.
Movie rentals are purchased in store or whatever. You could buy pay-per-view, which is the equivalent of like a seat in the theater, but for a discounted price or something.
But I would what's kind of weird is that does this mess up the numbers?
I don't know.
As because now you can't do ticket prices.
I still cannot figure out.
Yeah, it's not a ticket price. Yeah,
I still cannot figure out the.
But you got to be losing money.
No, I wouldn't say so because you're going to get more HBO subscribers, and that's the thing is we always look at just like theater totals. We never look at like how much you made on DVD. Like if we got those numbers. Not to always bring it up, but like Ghostbusters Afterlife was #1 for a few weeks at Redbox.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it did really good there. It was also top sales. So like those are things we don't plug into.
I wonder if the game plan here is to have people sub to these services, these streaming services, and then have them forget about the services. So they just are generating that monthly payment or whatever.
Yeah.
If that's what they're trying to go for here.
I get it, but I don't think with the HBO it's going to happen because HBO is pretty on point lately.
That's not a bad idea though, Honto, because that's why all the commercials are like start your free trial today. Because most of the time when you start a free trial,
dude, it happens to me all the time where
you get stuck into it and end up paying.
I will pay full price for a Criterion channel for the year and then forget that I signed up for it.
Really?
I'm remembering as we're talking right now that I signed up for Criterion.
Oh my gosh!
But it's just so weird because it's like with Batman. You have the numbers on where it's at right now?
Yeah, we can play the game real quick for Batman 2022. What was the budget? Honto, we'll start off with you. What do you think?
120 million.
Matt, go ahead.
I'm gonna go with 150.
It's saying right here what I'm getting is that it's projected between 185 and 200 million.
Oh my god,
that sounds about right though.
Yeah, because it is a 9-day movie to watch, so that probably makes sense as far as the budget. Actually, a lot of them are just putting in at 200 for the production budget. Okay. So. At this point, how much do you think it is made in the theaters? Matt, I'll start off with you domestically.
400?
Domestically? Okay. Honto, what do you got?
380.
Right now it's at 252.5. How much do you think it's made worldwide so far?
Oh, you did say domestically.
Honto?
Shit.
320.
Matt?
I'll go with 350 on that.
479.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was totally thinking about world numbers.
No, you're good. At this point, we are only,
2 weeks?
At the recording, this is like 2 or 3 weeks into the film actually coming out. But when it opened, let's play another game. What do you think the opening weekend was domestically? Matt, I'll go with you.
100?
Honto?
60.
134 million. That's like Marvel numbers. That is up there for sure.
It's about time that DC starts generating those numbers.
They're doing, they're getting there. And then finally, Rotten Tomatoes score. Matt, what do you got?
89%.
Honto,
94%.
85%. So,
Oh wow.
all right. That is all my work. I'm done. I sit back and I listen to Hanta do the cast and crew.
Directed by Matt Reeves, known for the remake of Let the Right One In, called Let Me In, which is that vampire movie.
Yes. I think I've seen the OG one.
I've seen both. The original's better.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to say that the Let Me In's bad, but it's
I actually heard it's pretty good.
it's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just prefer the original better.
Yeah.
The Planet of the Apes trilogy.
Only saw that first one, but I heard it's an awesome trilogy.
I like it.
I'm like in the minority of not liking that trilogy
Really?
at all.
Really?
I like the first one all right.
I really like the first one.
And then I think I saw the second one in theaters, and then I watched the third one on a plane. But yeah, it's just kind of like
Interesting.
not for me.
Okay.
The
It's
third,
not for
I
me.
wasn't a huge fan of the third one. It's very slow.
Yeah,
The second one has more action in it.
Okay.
But,
yeah, because Gary Oldman's the bad guy in the second one, and then I think Woody Harrelson's the bad guy in the third one.
Good casting. Very cool.
Yeah, and then I think his first movie was Cloverfield.
I was gonna ask. I thought he looked like.
That was
I think I might be in the minority with that. I love Cloverfield.
I think it's pretty legit.
I've watched that movie a couple of
times.
times.
One time, I think.
Yeah.
But I remember it being pretty surprising.
Yeah. I think it's done really well. I think it's very like exciting to watch.
Yeah. And I like the
Yeah.
that sequel, 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yes.
I think.
I've not seen the third one.
Yeah, I heard it's awful.
I know,
it's
such a bummer.
Netflix movie.
I know. Such a bummer.
Netflix.
Such a bummer.
Robert Pattinson is Batman, Twilight franchise, Good Time, The Rover with Guy Pearce, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
He's in a Harry Potter movie?
He is.
Did not know that.
He sure is. Just that one though.
Okay.
Kind of a major character, but like, yeah, again, just in that.
Very
movie,
cool.
So
What was the movie you just said with a Guy Pearce movie he did?
The Rover.
I did not know this.
From Australia. I
Yeah.
saw this in theaters. Really liked it. This is kind of what got Robert Pattinson on the map for me.
Okay.
Where I was like, oh my god, this guy can act.
Cool. Very cool. Okay.
This guy is good.
I never saw this.
Basically about a man on a revenge scheme in Australia, post-apocalyptic Australia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty good though.
Okay.
Zoe Kravitz is Catwoman, previous episode Into the Spider-Verse, and then she's also in. I think we mentioned a bunch of her movies last time.
Yeah.
She was in one of them there, Fantastic Beast, Harry Potter spin-off movies.
Okay.
Got Jeffrey Wright as Jim Gordon, previous episode, No Time to Die. Boardwalk Empire, Shaft. I'm sure I mentioned those on the previous episode.
There's a movie, I'm sure you brought this up, that me and Matt watched as a kid that we really liked.
Shaft?
No, it was I can't remember the artist.
Basquiat.
Yeah.
What's
And
it
it
called?
was Basquiat. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but he was an artist, and David Bowie's in it as well.
Oh,
As Andy Warhol.
oh, really?
Yeah. It's a pretty I remember really liking that movie.
Yeah.
It's been years.
From
but
the 90s or the
probably like late 90s, I would
Okay,
guess. I would
okay.
guess.
Yeah, I remember liking it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I totally forgot that he was in Bond.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, he's
Yeah.
in all of them.
Yeah,
Or most of them.
I completely blanked on that while
Yeah.
watching this. I was like, oh yeah, he is
Casino
in-
Royale and then Spectre,
Yeah,
maybe? I can't remember. I got Paul Dano as the Riddler, Swiss Army Man, There Will Be Blood, Prisoners, and what you're watching, 2 episodes of The Sopranos, apparently.
Yes, we just watched him in Sopranos.
Is he like a kid in that movie? Or
Yeah,
that-
he's like buddies with
AJ?
AJ, yeah.
Oh man, so
So-
how he's like
he's like a teenager.
that's like pre-Girl Next Door.
It's
I say it's even pre Girl Next Door.
it's like
pre,
right around there, yeah.
Yeah.
like-
So
yeah, it must have been early.
he was
2000s.
actually so young, like it looked like him, but I wasn't sure. Like he looked that off.
nice.
Speaking of Sopranos, we just got the Steve Buscemi.
Ooh,
and I'm already excited because it's Steve Buscemi.
he's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's
So,
pretty good in it.
but what you got?
John Turturro as Carmine Falcone, Barton Fink, Miller's Crossing, The Big Lebowski. A lot of Coen Brothers
Yes.
collabs.
Mr. Deeds.
Mr. Deeds, yeah, that's another one. Mr. Deeds. What else do you got? You got anything else?
He's in a handful of Adam Sandler movies.
Is he in Ridiculous 6?
Oh God, I don't even remember. I
was gonna say-
that's a movie I have blocked out of my mind.
Well, I was only going to say because it's movies that we've covered on the podcast.
yeah.
Oh, you know what's weird? He's also a frequent flyer in Spike Lee movies.
yeah.
Yeah, he's been in a
Do the
handful
right
of
thing.
those.
Yeah, I think he's in
Is he
She
Do the
Hate
Right
Me.
Thing? She's in She Hate. Well, maybe that's the only one I can think of is She
If
Hate
he's in
Me.
Do the Right Thing, the previous episode, Do the Right Thing.
I don't think he's in Do the Right Thing.
Okay.
Oh no, he is. He works at the shop. He works at the pizza shop. He's one of the sons of Sal.
No, I think that's his brother actually.
no, it's Sal's son.
What?
Because there's the two brothers and then Sal.
There's a Tuturo, but it's not John. I think it's his brother.
No, it's John Turturro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's the two children and then Sal's the guy who owns the pizza.
Okay.
place. It is John
Okay.
Turturro. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna confirm after this podcast.
Go for it. I'll confirm it right now. While
Okay.
you're continuing. Go ahead.
Andy Serkis as Alfred Pennyworth. Previous episode: The Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Black Panther. Then he's also in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the Hobbit trilogy, and a horror movie called Death Watch.
Okay.
That is a World War I trench movie.
Interesting.
that I've always known.
I've never heard about this.
I've always known about it, but I've never seen it. It has Jamie Bell, who played Tintin in the animated. He
Okay.
reunites with Andy Serkis because Andy Serkis plays the captain
Yeah.
in Tintin.
And then Andy Serkis with Matt Reeves for Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant to
Yeah.
say. So he's like a franchise guy because you got all the Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
You got Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, and you got Planet of the Apes.
Dude, I know we've talked about this before. Him and Chucky. Why can I not think of his name? The guy who plays Chucky.
Brad Dourif?
Yeah. I used to get them confused
Oh really?
at some point.
Really?
Yeah. Don't know why.
Oh,
Don't know
interesting.
why.
I was
then-
gonna say Andy Serkis is kind of I would say he's the closest to a Lon Chaney type, where he seems
transformed.
That's cool. That's
he
cool.
seems to be able to play just so many different
I
characters.
love it because he's
Yeah.
also in that King Kong, Peter Jackson King Kong,
Yeah.
which is really good in.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just able. I mean, CGI, leaving CGI out of it, he's very versatile with his roles, which is good.
I'm trying to think of something with him in makeup, like in a costume and not CGI.
Not CGI
Because we think of Golem when we're talking about Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
But then we also think of like Planet of the Apes, which is CGI again.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of something where it's actually him in
physical makeup.
a physical makeup costume.
I guess this. Yeah.
You
Oh,
know-
you're talking about just like normal?
Yeah, you know, it'd be really cool. I know where they already casted it, but that Wolfman movie with Ryan Gosling, it'd be really cool if it was Andy Serkis because he could play both werewolf and Larry Talbot.
That'd be cool.
Wouldn't it be kind of cool to have somebody that could
the motion capture or something?
yeah,
or-
somebody
I did that.
Not, I mean, even if it was
or
him in costume
makeup,
or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, just to have somebody that can literally transform himself would be
That's
a really
cool.
cool.
That's
Wolfman.
pretty cool.
I did look up John Turturro, by the way. And John Turturro was in more than I thought as far as Spike Lee, because he was in Jungle Fever.
Okay.
He was in Girl 6. He was in Clockers.
Okay.
He was in
Oh, yeah,
a couple
so
of- he
frequent.
was in it is him in
Previous episode, Do the Right Thing.
Do the Right Thing. He's in He Got Game.
Okay.
He's in Summer of Sam.
Okay.
So yeah, him and Spike Lee are like
Okay.
it's weird that he works with Spike Lee that much.
Yeah.
And he works with the brothers as well.
Yeah, the
Coen
Coens.
brothers.
The
Yeah.
Coen brothers, yeah.
Colin Farrell as Oswald Cobblepot, aka the Penguin. SWAT, Daredevil, Phone Booth. That's a Colin Farrell month of podcast right there. I feel
I
like.
do it.
And then I had mentioned he's one of them. Their Fantastic Beasts, Hobbit,
Yeah.
or Harry
Yeah.
Potter spinoff. A lot of people connected that Harry Potter franchise in this movie.
Clearly.
Dude, it's
I'll tell you
crazy.
what, man. Oh, go ahead. What do you got?
But no, go ahead. Because you
I
have
was
a
gonna say
thought on
Minority
Colin
Report.
Farrell.
We watched that about a year ago. That movie is awesome.
That movie's pretty badass.
That movie is awesome. Matt hates it.
really.
We bring this up on the podcast all the time now.
No, we
Matt
don't.
hates
This
Minority
is the
Report.
third time we've brought this up since I tried watching
I don't know.
Minority Report.
Me and Hunter don't remember this, but go ahead.
I don't remember. Yeah. You have to
Yeah, it was just okay.
Prove,
I think it's awesome.
Prove which episodes we talked about, then I'll believe you.
There you go.
We've already done them.
Peter Sarsgaard as D.A. Gil Coulson, previous episode, Green Lantern, Orphan, and The Skeleton Key.
Spoiler alert. Cool connection. His wife, Maggie Gyllenhaal, was in Dark Knight.
Oh shit! I didn't
and
know
they
that was his
both
wife.
kind of passed the same way in the movies.
Ah.
So that was kind of interesting.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I haven't seen him in anything in a while. I
It's
think the
been-
last thing I saw him was Skeleton Key.
You probably saw him in what's that Zach Braff movie?
Garden State.
Garden State.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But
I saw him on.
Skeleton, yeah.
I remember seeing him on SNL hosting,
Really?
and I can't remember what the hell he was hosting for.
Probably
No, interesting.
It had to have
Peter-
been something.
Probably Green Lantern.
No, it wasn't great. It had been something.
yeah,
it had to have been
yeah.
something big because, like, why would they have like
Maybe his Black Mass with Johnny Depp.
maybe? Oh, no.
Oh, speaking of, John Turturro also did the voice for Monkey Bone. Coming
Oh,
soon.
Okay.
Coming soon.
Cool.
Maybe.
Future podcast.
Cool. That's all I have.
Okay.
right. So
I think there were so many people in this movie. I'm surprised that there was not like a bigger cast to talk about. Surprisingly,
I mean, I could have
Yeah.
gone for days.
I'm sure you could.
it is weird about like how many properties IPs there are now.
Yeah.
And how many of these like actors are like in all of these movies.
That's
where
what I
it's
mean.
like you're like, oh, Colin Farrell and Robert Pattinson and who else did you say?
Like
We're in Harry Potter movies.
yeah, they're all
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Harry,
Yeah.
there's franchises everywhere.
Zoe Kravitz is in both DC and Marvel movies right
Yeah.
now.
What's from Marvel?
We did,
for
Black
Spider-Man.
Panther.
yeah, we did
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Black Panther's connect. Oh yeah,
And then it's like you look at composers. Like,
Michael Giacchino is all over the Marvel movies.
yeah, he does all
And-
the scores from the Marvel
And
movies.
Star Trek movies.
And then Hans Zimmer he did the Batman movies and the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, yeah, that's a good
And
point.
it's weird, like,
Yeah.
and same with Danny Elfman. Danny
Yeah.
Elfman did the Batman movies and he did the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
That's true. And Justice League, I think. And then yeah.
Yeah, and it's weird how like they're just like there's so many people
Or
in
no,
different
yeah.
properties. Like, can you imagine? Like, I can't imagine back in the day, outside of like Lucasfilm, it's like Harrison Ford was in the Star Wars Indiana Jones, right?
Yeah.
But that's like really the only actor I can think of at the top of my head that was in two
Yeah.
properties.
Yeah.
like
You're
two-
forgetting U.S. Marshals,
Yeah.
that property as well.
Oh yeah, and the U.S. Marshal, the Fugitive
Yeah.
property. I didn't know what
Yeah,
the hell you were
the
talking about there for a
franchise.
second. I was like, what?
And the Regarding Henry franchise.
Yeah. And the Clear
but no, it's just
Presentation
like-
franchise.
There's
that's
so
actually-
many of
that's
them
a real
now.
one.
That is- oh,
That's
yeah,
a real
yeah,
one.
Yeah, that's right.
There's so many of them that like
the
are in
Wit-
different
the-
properties.
The Witness franchise.
I was going to say the Widowmaker franchise.
Yeah.
K-19, the Widowmaker.
The K-19 trilogy.
But good connections on all those. I wouldn't even thought about
Shut up.
the Witness trilogy.
Shut up.
That's what I just said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's so condescending. Like, you're not even paying attention
I was
anymore.
paying
And Chris
attention.
gives that back and comment like, good job, Matt. I was like, you stopped listening to me 5 minutes ago
No,
when you
but
went
you're
down
right.
the,
You get
the
a
Harrison
gold-
Ford, like,
Here's a gold
No.
star participation award.
Yeah.
All the connections you made were legit. I
yeah,
promise.
cool.
And I was actually going to relax. So going off that, what we do with our now playings usually is we do our positives and negatives. We'll start off with the positive. This soundtrack is a baller.
This soundtrack is
Yeah.
amazing.
It is so good.
Yeah, it's really great. Makes me feel like being a kid again.
You're not listening to me.
It's just like
Um,
my big brother all over again.
So all I have from Michael, how do you pronounce his
I
last
think
name?
Giacchino.
Okay. So all I have from him, I used to listen on loop to Star Trek Beyond soundtrack. It is awesome.
Oh, really? Because I used to listen to the opening track of the Lost soundtrack on loop, where it was just a.
Oh, Chris, you're not even listening to me.
It's only like 5 seconds long, but I used to listen to that bad boy on loop.
Cool. Now we're even. Yeah, but Star Trek Beyond, I used to listen to like
I
nonstop.
didn't realize that was him.
Yeah, it's him.
But this soundtrack is awesome, man. It is so good. It's like haunting, but it's very memorable. It's not just
Oh.
like it's not like here's some music in the background.
Yeah, that
Like,
which is
it
like
is so good.
Which is like every Marvel movie. It's like, oh, here's some music. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Here you go.
And I guess
Yeah.
it's supposed to sound like the Nirvana song,
That's why. Yeah, I have to listen to it.
which seems kind of weird.
Why?
Seems like a weird connection.
I heard it. I mean,
Well,
but,
I-
like with something in the way, which is the Nirvana song they played twice in this movie.
Yeah.
You can hear it.
It's
in
the
the
it's the
score.
notes. It's a
Yeah.
yeah. But
because apparently Robert Pattinson was like his character, whatever, is supposed to look like Kurt Cobain with the hair and like the
See,
yeah.
you know what's weird? I thought more My Chemical Romance.
maybe yeah.
When I
that's-
guess like
Or
he-
Chris, I thought Chris Angel.
Matt
but
Reeves
I thought
said
you
he
said
was,
Chris Isaac.
Chris Isaac.
Matt Reeves was saying that he listened to Bleach a lot while he was writing this.
Is that a band?
No, the Nirvana.
Oh,
album,
gotcha.
Bleach.
Okay.
But it's weird because it's like, what if in like 20 years they do like, it's like the Fantastic Four movie, and you're like, yeah, our theme song's based off of Groove is in the Heart. And it's like, it's a slow version of Groove is in the Heart. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not mad about that.
this is stupid.
Pull it off.
No, the music is phenomenal. This Batman theme song, his like theme
Mhm.
is, I would say it's already iconic.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like it's up there with the Danny Elfman. Like
It's close. It's
I know,
close.
I
know
would
you-
say
I know,
close, too.
I know you're.
I'm with
huge-
Matt. I'm with
It's
Matt.
close.
I-
I'm sorry.
The Danny Elfman's still legit, but like this is. I mean, like I can't even tell you what the Hans Zimmer or like the James Newton Howard theme for Batman is. I can't even tell you what the Junkie XL or Hans Zimmer
Okay, that's valid.
Yeah.
theme is for the Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. It's just, man, it's one of those things where the Danny Elfman theme is so
It's iconic. Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And for some reason, they've like all these movies are like, just don't use it. It's our movie.
Or they just
and it's
don't know how
just
to do
use
it.
the damn song. It's like the best theme song written ever for a character that's 80 years old.
But I
Yeah.
want to hear different theme songs.
Sure, but it's like
It's like asking using different movies to use the same theme song is like asking a band to be like
Do a cover song.
yeah
Or like
or
do it like it's like being a cover band basically.
yeah kind of like or like play your number one hit again. I'm like we've done that.
yeah, but
Like,
I feel like the Batman theme is so iconic for a lot of people that it's like them making an Indiana Jones movie and being like, well, I don't want to do John Williams' score. I want to do my own Indiana Jones score.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you can't. You've got to use the Indiana Jones, the
you use
Raiders
a
March.
theme, but
Well,
you
it
gotta
makes sense because it's the same actor, but like, it's his the
That's a
theme
good
song,
point.
you know?
That's a very good.
But
point.
if it's not anymore,
But if it's Harrison Ford is not Indiana Jones.
like if they remade
or regarding
okay,
Henry,
if they remade Indiana Jones in
Witness.
20
or
years,
Widowmaker. Go ahead.
all right, you guys done? All right. If they remade Indiana Jones in 20 years and they didn't use the Indiana
I
Jones
want
theme,
something different.
it'd be super. But also on top of that,
Yeah.
here's what I'll argue against: James Bond. They keep using the same James Bond
Oh, that's
theme,
true. Yeah.
even though it's like several actors later.
Okay, that's valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, but it's just like
I think it works in different situations.
that Batman theme is so
Yeah, James Bond's
iconic.
different. I know, but James Bond's different.
But no, not dissonant. This soundtrack is awesome.
There's even like
I love it. I've been listening to the hell out of it this week.
Same. There's one with the Catwoman when she's breaking into the safe and then Batman shows up behind her and like that song is awesome too. It's like it's like it sounds like it's a hacking theme, but it's her like picking the lock.
Actually, a lot of her songs
Very like
sound like Batman
like
Returns.
sneaking
Yeah,
around.
So, like,
she
the-
sounds like it sounds like
not
Catwoman music.
it's like a very like
Yeah.
like it's kind of like I know that sounds
It
stupid.
sounded like Tourist Trap just now. I just watched Tourist Trap the other day.
Good
So I was
reference.
like, oh, it sounds like Tourist
Dude, you
Trap.
want to go on a tangent? It's good, right?
Oh, I love
Dude,
Tourist
That
Trap.
is the scariest scene of any movie I've ever watched.
Is it the plaster?
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty
It
intense.
is so disturbing.
Yeah, it's pretty
It
intense.
freaks me out just thinking about
Yeah.
it. That's like one of
I remember watching.
That's my top
Me and
5.
Chris watched it a couple years ago, and he's like, "This is the most disturbing scene I've ever seen." And I was like, "Really?
Yeah, wait till you get to Terrifier.
Yeah. You want to watch
Dude.
Terrifier?"
that scene is it's just messed up.
No,
yeah,
I-
something
but
about
it-
suffocation is really
It just hits a
terrible.
chord with you.
Yeah.
Is what it comes.
and then
down
when he
to,
like describes it, like it's just it's a messed up scene.
Yeah.
But
But yeah,
Um,
go on with the Tourist Trap sounding Catwoman.
Dude,
thing.
I would like to do Tourist Trap for this podcast. I think it'd be an actual nice little cult status film to talk about.
could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
But yes, it sounds very Selena Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Via
It-
Tim
it
Burton.
fits
Yes.
very well.
But it's cool too because the Riddler stuff, it's a horror score. So I
Yeah.
think that's why we all like it because it's like, oh, it's like a horror movie.
Okay.
And I really in particular, which is not anywhere present on the soundtrack, but they use Ave Maria as
Yeah.
a very
Yeah.
motif as like associated specifically with the Riddler, or if the
Yes.
Riddler's about to attack, there's
Yeah.
always Ave Maria in the background or
Mhm.
whatever. And I think it works so perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, actually, since we're talking about characters, let's go through our characters and talk about what we thought about all of them. Robert Pattinson.
Not
Pattinson?
Pattinson.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson.
It's like Paddington Bear, but Pattinson.
Robert Paddington Bear.
Yeah.
As Batman, what do you think?
I thought it was pretty good.
I thought
Yeah,
he did
He's
great.
solid.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the Bruce Wayne yet.
I think the Bruce Wayne, but I think that's because we got a lack of Bruce Wayne in this movie.
Yeah,
More
I
of
agree.
Batman.
It's weird watching it and you're like, oh man, this is a heavy Batman movie.
Oh,
like he's
it's
in the
great.
costume for like 90%
Dude,
of
it's
this
great.
movie.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, I love
And it's
it.
like
Here's
kind of
what-
cool.
Here's what I thought was going to happen. You're going to have him as Batman, him as Bruce Wayne around Alfred, and he's like the emo type, like very depressed.
Get
and
away
then-
from me, Dad.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I thought you were going to have a third version of him where he does put on a face in front of people and he's like, "Hey,
Oh.
how's it going?"
Yeah,
He's very happy.
and that's what they were
looking.
saying. Actually, is that this is the only movie where he does not put on a tuxedo of some sort.
Yeah, that's
go to,
true,
like,
yeah.
a gala or like a dinner party or
Really?
something.
I thought he
Oh,
was going to
yeah.
have these 3 different like personalities,
Yeah,
but it never got to that. Like, I wanted to see him be like the fake guy.
I like. Oh no, we'll get to him. But I like that though. I like it because I think it says a lot for his psychology that he's not 2 different people. That is like when he puts on that Batman mask,
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
the same
he's
guy
a-
as Bruce Wayne.
yeah,
So instead
Yeah.
of like being this is the real me in this costume, like no,
Yeah.
it's like that's just the real him
yeah.
throughout. Like so it's different. I like it because it's different from the way everybody who's always played Batman.
And I totally
Yeah.
agree. why make another Batman if you're gonna do it exactly the same?
Yeah,
I totally agree.
Exactly.
So yeah, I like that it was different.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to see his character be kind of like, hey, how's it going? Like just smooth guy, and be like, oh man, he's totally lying.
And
right
I
now.
really like this depiction of him where he's doing like the voiceovers throughout the movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
Like
love this,
especially
yeah.
the beginning where he's like, yeah, I've been doing this for like 2 years now. You know, I've been the Batman for 2 years. I don't even know if I'm doing anything right.
Yeah.
If I'm making an impact. And by
Yeah.
the end of the movie, when he has this whole speech where he's like, I think I made an impact finally. And
Yeah.
I think I'm getting to do something
Yes.
good finally.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, that's some powerful stuff right there.
So honestly, saying what you're saying, if they do it right, they should do it as the movies progress, that he starts to change.
it starts like to be more
Yeah.
of like,
Yeah.
I gotta fake the personality or whatever.
Yeah,
like
like maybe that
Wayne.
Batman personality dies down a little bit and he becomes a little bit more jovial. Like
I think-
he's not Adam West jovial, but
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Come on, Robin.
By the way, I read this I've been reading the history of Batman this week,
Okay.
a book that I have. It's a Batman compendium book, and they talked about Adam West and his suit, and they said that his suit was really itchy.
Oh yeah.
So if you watched the Batman show, what he would do to combat the itchiness, he'd move his body a lot. That's why he
awesome.
moves so much.
So that's why they have like that's
That
why they,
is
in
awesome.
particular they have like a scene of them just doing like a 60s
yeah.
dance. Like
well, if you see when he's
like
like
Austin
walking around,
Powers.
he's like moving his shoulders and his arms up and down. So it's like
That's amazing.
that's gonna
Yeah.
be so annoying.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, I think he did really well. in
Yeah, I
this
did
movie,
too.
yeah, I liked him.
Let's go ahead and talk about. I'm going to jump to it because I think this is the most Actually, there's two wasted characters in this movie. I think personally.
I agree with one of them.
I'll
Okay.
probably agree with you.
Okay, one is Penguin.
Oh no.
Oh, really?
No,
Yeah.
not at
What
all.
an awesome character! And then kind of like, what's your role here? Like, I feel like he was.
Oh,
it was. It's odd.
It's being set
odd.
up.
Yeah, they're setting him up.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Like-
It's still odd though. I don't want to watch this movie. And I think Matt Reeves said this. I mean, I think he can quote me on this, but he said, I don't want to make a movie where you're thinking about future movies. He's like, I want to make a standalone movie. So without setting it up, I feel like his
Yeah.
character's wasted.
No, I think
it's weird that he said that, and like
He
there's
did
an
say it,
obvious
yeah.
there's an obvious setup at the end.
Oh
of this
yeah,
movie.
I think it works well because it's like him being the right hand to Carmine Falcone, and then
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's almost like he gets kind of shat on throughout the movie of being
Yeah.
like this kind of lesser person, even though he's kind of rising to the top. Even to the point where Carmine says like, "Oh, you're nothing," when Carmine's being arrested finally.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're nothing. You're just a gimp." Blah blah. And then ultimately, Penguin becomes this basically the new boss of Gotham,
Yeah.
and it's like a kind of a pretty awesome moment. For
Well,
him.
and they got the
Yeah.
HBO show coming out with him, so we'll get enough. We'll get
but
enough
you're
Penguin.
thinking, I don't
Yeah.
want to think of it as. We'll wait till the show.
Yeah.
Like as a movie
Yeah.
standalone,
But-
I think it was a waste of the character.
But for what his character's purpose is in this movie, I think he had the right amount, and it was a scene stealer every single time. He was
I agree.
on.
He
You
was
know
good
what?
in it. He felt like the Killian Murphy of Tron 2,
Oh,
where
that's,
it was kind of like,
that's a throwaway scene altogether.
and that's how I felt.
Killian
kinda,
Murphy's in Tron too.
Yeah,
right?
he's
Because it was set up for Tron.
He's
3.
in Tron Legacy.
Yeah.
he's supposed to be the son of
Oh,
What's his
I saw
face?
that movie one
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
and I forgot that.
and they were like hinting that he's going to be like the next.
That's the only
guy.
reason he did it was so he could do Tron 3.
That sucks.
But that's how I felt. Where it was kind of like you'll see later on. I'm like, I don't want to.
No,
I don't
think
set
it's-
me up
I think,
for later.
I think,
Yeah.
I think he had the appropriate amount of screen time, considering it was like a 3-hour movie. But
Yeah.
I think he had the appropriate amount of screen time. I think every scene he killed it. Every time I saw him, I could not believe it was him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I felt like he was doing his best Robert De Niro impression at times, especially with like
Sure. Yeah.
the El Rata, La Rata.
Don't get me wrong. He's baller in this.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
great.
He does an awesome job in
Yeah.
this. I just wish there was just. I wish they did something different with him. That's all.
I like what they did with him because I'm not a huge Penguin fan.
I don't like the actual
Um,
being an actual penguin, like monstrosity. Or
Yeah, yeah, and I think like I still can't. I can't remember why they call him the Penguin in this. Did they even call him the Penguin in this?
Well, the only really reference to Penguin, I don't even think they called him. It was just Oz or Oswald.
yeah, they
yeah,
call him Oz.
But the only time they get the Penguin reference is when he gets captured after the car chase scene,
Yes,
and they tie his hands and his feet,
and he's
They-
wobbling.
Yeah,
like
they're
a penguin.
wobbling.
But they never call him the Penguin,
I don't think so.
and he's never
No,
called
no.
Penguin.
yeah.
No,
But
they do because they're talking about the La Rata.
Yeah, and it
with
could be
wings.
a penguin.
Yeah, and they were referencing Oz. That's
Oh,
why.
yeah.
But
That's
why
what it
why
says.
do they call him the Penguin in this?
I can't remember.
I don't know either.
That movie's
Oh.
3 hours long, and then
I know that's why I
I've seen
can't
it again.
remember. I need to go. I am going to go see it.
I am
again.
going to see it
All
again
right.
too.
But I think he did a really good job. I like the amount of time he was in it for. I think the best way to look at it was like he's not a main villain, It's almost like he's like a villain from like Dick Tracy, like the movie Dick Tracy.
Yeah, I
It
knew
does
that,
feel
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, and honestly, and that's like something I read recently too in that Batman history book, and I never really kind of put it together, but the Batman villains are really based off of like Dick Tracy's Rogue Gallery,
I could say that.
and it's like, oh yeah,
It
that's
makes
totally what that
sense.
is.
Yeah,
Like
it
they
makes
all
sense.
in like art form, they all kind of do look
But
like.
see, and that's
exactly
what I
like
hate
Batman
about
characters.
I'm going to jump on it now. I hate where these movies are going with comic book movies. Okay, so here's my biggest complaint with this movie I'm going to say right now. It's not fun. It's not like I'm having fun with this movie.
Oh, I was having fun. I was having
I was
some
not.
fun with
I
it.
feel like that's the biggest flaw. And not to compare it to like Batman Forever, but like it's exciting and it's like, whoa, look at all this.
Yeah,
I felt like
But
this was very
that's legitimately like what's his name?
Schumacher.
Schumacher. He was legitimately going for this is a cartoon, this is
Yeah.
a comic book.
But
They're going for straight Adam
But
West.
even
level.
like Marvel movies are like fun to watch. Like this was good, but DC, or at least just Batman in general, they're getting darker and darker, and they're becoming less fun.
I would say this is way more entertaining, way more fun than any of those. I mean, like Aquaman's probably the most fun out of them.
yeah.
But like when you compare it to like Batman vs Superman or Justice League, this is way more fun. Than
I
that.
wouldn't say- honestly,
I think the Batman,
those Zack Snyder movies are way.
I think
too
Justice
serious.
League was better than this. I do like Justice. I enjoy
Really?
No,
Yeah.
no.
like the one that
hard-
came out in theaters.
the remake.
hard,
the director's
hard
cut.
disagree on that.
The director's cut I think was better than
Hard
this.
disagree. That movie's 4 hours long.
And it felt like 2. This
Nope.
one felt like 4.
I felt every minute of Justice League.
I did not.
I watched that movie over the course of 6 hours.
Yeah.
The movie's so boring.
Oh, I really liked it. I thought it was really good. But yeah,
no,
it's not like I'm not having fun with it. And I felt like when it came to the end, and then Riddler was like, I got this thing going on. He's like, I'm gonna explode all these
I
dams.
loved it.
And they're
Loved
watching it going, and then like nothing happened. They like hung out in like a Madison Square Garden type thing.
Yeah, but that's the whole plot of
Yeah.
his whole ending of his scheme was to assassinate the mayor.
But
and
it
cause
didn't feel
chaos.
threatening. And it felt
Oh,
like
it was absolutely
and then I felt like
threatening.
Riddler was like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out bad guys. And you're
I
like,
think
okay.
I think the part
Like,
of the
I don't
problem,
know.
I think
I don't
part
know.
of
I
the
don't understand Riddler. That's my only complaint about the movie.
Yeah.
is I don't understand Riddler.
I
I
don't
don't
either.
get what he's doing.
Yeah.
he's pissed that they
Like
he-
because
he-
there's a
he's-
good I know,
he's-
but there's a good like the mayor seems decent, and then they're like trying to assassinate the mayor at the end of the movie. I'm like, why?
I just think he's trying to cause pure chaos and
Yeah, but I
further
feel like
the
that's like I don't know. I feel like it wasn't. I like I said, I might have to. It
I,
might
I
be
have
there.
to I have to rewatch it for sure because there were some parts that dragged and I kind of missed out on some of the dialogue
Because he makes a point in the movie to kill all these people that are bad off, and then like I don't think there was anything bad against this mayor at the end of the movie.
no,
and,
she's
like,
supposed to be like the best part, and I think he mentions it too.
yeah.
Like,
I don't
he's
understand
like
why
it-
he's trying to kill her.
It doesn't.
But,
But I have to watch it again. Like,
but
maybe
I was gonna
missed it.
say I feel like for me this is like bordering on probably like my favorite Batman movie
Okay.
all time.
Okay.
It's a toss up between 89 because that's like that
Okay.
was like the first introduction. But this movie is legit because it really felt like I was watching a comic book unfold.
Okay.
I've been reading a lot of Batman over the last
Yeah.
like couple of years, and this is like the most comic accurate
Mhm.
Batman as far as like plot lines go. They like the fact that they made the Riddler a complete menace. It's
Yeah.
just like they've never done that before, ever.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you could argue that Jim Carrey, but it's more of like a baffling, like kind of a silly concept, I guess.
Okay.
But it's not really threatening. But this is like the most like, oh god, city's on edge. We got like a
I didn't feel
Zodiac.
like I did not feel like the city was on edge.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I mean,
I felt like it was so like okay, here's an example. And this is something that popped in my head because I feel like this kind of stole from Dark Knight Rises. It's like remember in Dark Knight Rises when like Bane blows up all access to the city,
Mhm.
yeah.
and then you're like, oh man, like, and it's like a very like, oh, this is insane.
You mean all those cops went into the tunnels?
That was
for
so
all of
stupid.
them?
yeah,
And
all
then-
of the cops.
all the cops.
All for one guy.
Sir, that's all the cops. No, all of them.
Send all of the cops into the tunnels.
It's Gary
then-
Oldman. Everyone.
And then I felt like it was like I felt like there was a threat. I did not feel like this at the end.
I just
didn't feel
that's
it.
what I honestly I will say this. Initially walking out of the movie, it felt like the third act was written by somebody else. And
Yeah,
it
that's a
was
good point. That's a
Because
good
I
point.
felt like the movie ends when the Riddler gets caught. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
the movie's over.
yeah.
And then everything that happens after the Riddler gets caught it doesn't fit into the rest of the movie. I'm like, wait, why is Riddler blowing up the city? Like, why is he blowing up dams? And then I was like, why is Riddler trying to kill this girl? And then I was like,
I will say the part where the Riddler,
kind of confused by it.
I will say the part where the Riddler, they stumble upon the Riddler's like his like Instagram feed where he's talking to his fans and like, hey guys, you know, like just want to thank you for your support. It really reminded me of the reveal in Iron Man 3 when the Mandarin, the Ben Kingsley character, it totally reminded me. And I was like, I don't like the goofy on the side.
Well, that's the thing. Things are getting so dark and so serious, and it's just not.
But it's Batman, and I'm fine with it.
I'm not fine with it because you know why? You can have your dark and serious Batman, but you know what you're going to get every time you make a Batman movie? You're going to get the same 3 grounded characters. You're going to have the Joker, you're going to have the Riddler, you're going to have the Penguin, and you're never going to have your Clayface.
I know.
And
that's a problem for me too.
That's my thing too. I don't think this world that they're building. Like, don't get me wrong, I really like this movie, but once again, I'm like, man, no Poison Ivy, no Man Bat,
that's
no
what I mean, and that's what I'm trying to tell you.
And no Mr. Freeze.
And when it ended, and it was like, I was like, who's next door to him in Arkham? I was like, oh man, I was like, is that Two-Face? And I was like, no, it's Joker.
Yeah,
again, cool.
Yeah, I know, and I was like, that was okay.
I hope they never do the Joker.
I'm saying a lot of negative stuff here.
No, we'll get back to positives because there's a lot of positives.
No, but I will say one of the negatives I walked away with was that I was I didn't like the Joker.
No.
I didn't like him being.
It just wasn't needed.
It wasn't needed. And honestly, give me somebody besides the fucking.
That's what
Joker.
I mean. It's becoming the Lex Luthor of this franchise.
Yeah, which is terrible. But
we don't need a third iteration of the Joker.
And it looked like based on it may change if they do introduce him, but it looked like they're going the edgy route of like he's just all scars on his face. Like you could see like the sun or the
his mouth looked big. Like it looked like he had a big mouth.
Okay. Which is like, we already got that with Heath Ledger and he killed it. Heath Ledger was like the best Joker.
If they were smart about it, they would just get William Dafoe.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
And just that'd be an awesome pairing.
Dope, yeah.
But I also heard too, they're not doing the Joker the next movie.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I think
now. I know.
I think we just need to breathe it from
But
the
also,
Joker overall.
I know you hate it. But why would they not like cash in on it and do Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker?
I don't like that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Why didn't they do that?
Nah.
I think that's goofy.
Like, I mean, you might not like the movie, and I didn't like that movie either. But he did a really great job in that role. And it's like, why not?
It doesn't fit.
Why? It goes with this realistic thing that they're doing in all these Batman movies.
Honestly, at one point in the movie, I thought they were going to be tied together. It's stupid that the Joker movie takes place in the 80s.
I think that's the biggest mistake they ever made.
Yeah,
in that movie.
and it's like that was dumb. Because you could have done this like alternate world. You didn't have to do it in the 80s.
Yeah. And the fact that they introduced Thomas Wayne in Joker and it's a completely different actor in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there was heaps of garbage all around Gotham. And I was like, this is how they're going to tie it with the Joker movie. And then like it dawned on me. I was like, wait, this is now. And because there was at one point, like there was rumors that this Batman movie was going to be in the 90s.
I heard that too. But they're legitimately using like cell phones and stuff.
In so it's that obviously. And and that and his parents got killed in 2001.
Oh, yeah. That's
what it said.
The obvious is the 2001 reference.
But yeah, man. And this movie off with Riddler looking over and then Mr. Freeze is there or something cool, but
or like, having been like with his Kate or his
Jim Carrey at the end of
I'm the Batman.
I'll never tell.
But
speaking of fun thing with Jim Carrey, they use the same exact glasses that Jim Carrey wears in Batman Forever.
Really?
Those clear ones?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what Jim Carrey wears in Batman Forever.
No kidding.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Interesting.
I liked all of them, all the actors in it.
You know what? I think this is the one you were going to agree with the waist is Alfred.
Yeah.
Alfred, yes.
What a waste.
Alfred,
that's my biggest complaint.
Jeremy Irons is still the best Alfred.
Oh, I would love to see him in more movies.
Andy Serkis is like, I was excited for Andy Serkis, but he was just kind of a waste.
He was in it for like 2 scenes, and then you think he dies, and you're supposed to be like, oh no, like no, you did not give me enough background on him.
But I really did like the part where him and Bruce reconcile in the hospital. I was like,
that was cool.
Awesome.
That was cool.
Really that was cool because he's talking about like his fear, and he's like, I try to conquer my fear all the time, and I didn't realize like that's the scariest I've been.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's a really cool way to say, I love you.
Yeah. And there's a lot of cool things where like he would like yell at Alfred. He's like, you're not my dad.
Yeah.
And like, I like that. That's cool because it is still this like rebellious, I'm trying to figure out who I am, Bruce Wayne. Yeah. Which is cool.
Yeah.
Because we all know Alfred pretty much is
it's the father figure. Yeah.
So positives, Selena Kyle.
yeah, she's great.
I think she's great in this.
Yeah.
I don't like her mask. I don't know why she's wearing. It's goofy.
It looks like Juggernaut,
It's-
Juggernaut from X-Men.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
big
it's
open,
weird.
like, thing or whatever.
Once again,
Dude, one of the coolest
she's
things-
not Catwoman, right?
They don't say it, but she is.
Yeah,
But she's never. They don't really ever call.
Oh,
her
she's
Catwoman.
Catwoman.
she didn't have like code name.
And
But
that's
that's the point of
They're
the
not calling
mask.
Penguin. They're not calling like just make your movie. You've
Yeah.
already got a
Yeah.
fan base. Don't try to be.
It's
cooler
just
than you
hard
are.
though if they make the next movie and they're like, "What's your name?" You're like, "I'm Clayface," and you're like,
Dude, I would love a Clayface. Okay,
"I know," but it's
Yeah.
just like the fact that his name would be Clayface would be like that's the most original name
And then-
you came up with for yourself. Like you're not Herbert or like
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's what the newspaper gave it to him. The newspaper gave him the name.
yeah,
Clayface.
and he's like, "I'm Clayface," and it'd be like, and then like, "Oh, this is my friend Man Bat."
Yeah.
You're like, "Ah!"
fine.
Why is it not Kirk?
Yeah,
Can't it just be Kirk?
And then Nicolas Cage apparently he was in the news saying that he would love to go up against Robert Pattinson as Egghead. So he was like, "Hey, I'm Egghead."
1, 2, 3, egghead.
EGG.
He would have been a good Riddler. I think he's got that mad scientist, or actually Mad Hatter, or no. Yeah, Riddler. I'm gonna stick with Riddler. Like that mad, like scientist type thing, kind of like.
But I think
Too
that's the
smart
thing-
for his
I think
own
that's the
good.
thing is
I
that
don't know.
you're still mixing up the Jim Carrey as a scientist. I don't think Riddler
I'm
was.
sorry,
ever-
this movie's too serious. For me.
Honestly, if I could do Nick Cage as anybody, Mad Hatter.
Mad Hatter would be
Yeah.
dope. I would
Yeah.
love to see a Mad Hatter in one of these
yeah,
movies.
you're not gonna get in this, and if you do get Mad Hatter, it'll be more like, I don't know, something not
Basically,
good.
anybody that they've done so far in the franchise, with the exception of Mr. Freeze, I don't want to see him ever. I want to see different people like.
Yeah. Well, I would love to see
like-
I would love to see Poison Ivy.
Yeah,
That'd be
Poison
cool.
would be great. Yeah,
I would love to see. I like the fact that
Ventriloquist.
Batman Begins did Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah,
which was cool. Good for them.
But
I was telling Kayla about, or I
but
was
they
telling,
grounded so far in reality that they
yeah.
don't have the Lazarus.
Yeah,
pit.
the Lazarus Pit. Like, give me
Yeah.
a Ra's
that
al
was cool. They
Ghul.
brought. I was telling my fiance about it. That like, how cool is it that like their first villain, like let's do Ra's al Ghul. No one does that. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's so great. And then and then this is like, hey, all the characters you've seen, like, yeah,
That's
there's
why-
Well, they hint at Bane.
Did they really in this?
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah, like
how
everybody thinks that they're hinting at Bane in this,
How?
and like I thought as soon as I saw it, but the adrenaline he pumps into his body at the end of the movie,
Yeah,
I
okay.
see.
it's
Okay.
green.
That's true. Okay, I
Like,
see it now. I see
It's like it's venom, dude. That's the venom that Bane pumps through
it.
his
So you think
veins.
some guy, some scrawny guy is going to get
Yeah.
his whole.
So I don't know. That's just I know a lot of people are going on speculation city with that, but
Yeah.
that is, I mean, it's really hard.
That's a
not,
cool way to introduce it, though.
Yeah.
Because I hate that gas mask that Bane has in that stupid Dark Knight Rises movie.
I like it.
I like it.
That movie's so stupid.
I think Dark Knight Rises is better than this one.
no,
I do,
no,
yes.
no. That
I
movie's
had more
bad.
fun with Dark Knight Rises. Than
Dark Knight
this.
Rises
you keep saying
middle tier.
you keep saying fun though, and it's like I did have fun watching this. It's not as fun as like I would say like Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
But I will say that like I feel like the movie had something to say.
Oh, the action sequence!
That's
like
fine,
I
it's
had
something
fun
to say,
with the,
but-
I had fun with the car chase. Even
Yeah.
like the part where Batman finally is attacking all the Riddler cronies. Like that.
Yeah.
That is how I want to see Batman fight
Yeah.
in these movies
But-
because he fights one person at a time in all the Christian Bale movies. Pretty
Yeah.
much, like it's always just one person. This one, he's like taking out multiple people, and it's like this is how he should be fighting.
Yeah.
No, but it's like I think it's for me it has something to say, and I think you can kind of do that with Batman. And honestly, I think Batman's like the one of the few characters that can transcend his comic books.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where it's like he's got great comic books. Don't get me wrong, and he's got and everyone loves writing for him. But he's also got really good movies, and he's got great TV shows, great video games, and it's like he's an easy character to write for. But I feel like the movies can be separated from the comics as
Yeah.
opposed to like with the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's like, no, get him as close to the comic books as possible. And I feel like sometimes with like, for instance, like Spider-Man that we just watched,
Yeah.
it was a fun movie. It was 3 hours long, same time span as
Yeah.
this. I walked away feeling the exact same way as I did when I walked in. Like, it didn't change my mind about anything.
Yeah.
And I thought what was really cool, like with this Batman movie, as opposed to keeping him in the shadows by the end of it.
Oh, it's awesome.
They have him out in the open in the sunlight, and he's like helping people and saving people,
It's
Which is
fantastic.
cool.
and I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, this is. I felt really. This was the part where I was most excited about because I was like, oh cool, we got like a Batman where we're like proud that that he's actually being like heroic.
Oh yeah, and the cops aren't like immediately shooting at him. Like
like he's saving some like kid and putting him into a helicopter, and it's like, oh, like he's helping out, like he's at like ground zero helping out during this tragedy.
Yeah,
awesome.
and that was really cool.
And I was like, cool. He's like a hero. He's not like Spider-Man. He's like, oh no, sorry, Doctor Strange. Like I don't want to mess up the time spell.
Can you grant my one wish?
Oh wait, I want to do this and this and this. And I want to save all these guys from dying. And it's like, it's a fun story, but it has nothing to say.
Yeah.
It's like
I think Spider-Man was more fun in this.
Yeah, I'll agree with you.
Okay, we get it.
I will agree with you.
Well, you just brought up Spider-Man.
I will agree with you on that.
Spider-Man was fun.
Yeah, but it's also like it's weird because it's like comparing it. It's like what's a fun and entertaining are two different movies, you know?
Yeah, I think Spider-Man was fun and entertaining. This was good.
I think this was entertaining. I wouldn't say like fun.
No, not fun. Yeah, definitely entertaining.
It's way too long. Me and Hanzo both fell asleep during it.
I was engaged.
Both fell asleep.
Yeah,
it was during. Yeah, that's why I wanted to see it again because there was a lot of
when that nerve gas came through the theater and it was like, and the Joker started painting all over the screen and you guys were like,
no, it was the part where I feel like it was like one of the pivotal parts where Riddler just like revealing, or no, maybe Carmine Falcone is revealing some stuff. I was like, okay, I'm kind of missing out on some stuff.
That got a little convoluted.
This is where I was like hitting 2 hours and 45 minutes. I was like,
did you guys see the Hush reference?
Oh, no. With the Thomas Elliott?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. I'm excited.
It was like Thomas Elliott's like dad was one of the doctors.
Yeah.
Arkham. And then they say Hush. And
dude,
it's like written the word Hush.
If they did,
that's cool.
If they did a Thomas Elliott storyline, I'd be jacked.
They should do something like that because Hush would be a cool character that it'd be a Batman character that not a lot of people know about.
Yeah, but
so you could walk in and be like, okay, this movie's about this guy I don't know about, but he's in the comics.
But they won't. I guarantee the next movie is Joker.
Nah, I don't think so.
I bet you. I'm agreeing. I think I'm going to agree with Chris on that. I think they're going to change their word once DC's like, we need to make it the Joker.
Yeah,
and it's like
huge mistake on their end.
I know, and it's gonna. I'm afraid it's gonna be the one that ruins it, where it's like. And everyone's going to talk about how awesome this movie was and how like it just didn't work out because the sophomore slump because they got the Joker back in it.
Dude, if they did a Thomas Elliott Hush, it would basically be Batman versus Darkman, which would be awesome to see.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It'd be really cool to
see. Who do you want to see besides
like what character?
Okay, so what hasn't been done yet? I would love to see Mr. Freeze and this
I think that's the one I want to see.
That'd be so cool. Like that would just be like this fun like that feels like a threat. That feels like, oh man, this guy can do this.
He just like squirts you with some water and it has like a fan. He's like, oh,
cool. It burns.
Well, it's weird. They're
so
going,
cool.
It seems like they're gonna
Mr. Cool.
Their next story is
no, it's Mr. Freeze.
It seems like their next story is
because I don't remember what he says. Because learn my name well because I don't know. He says it.
This is like a Russian.
It's short saying, learn my name well because it'll be your dying breath.
It's like a leprechaun.
It's full Monty. I don't know.
Okay.
But go ahead, Matt.
The end of like two things really quick. He won't be Mr. Freeze either because he wasn't even Edward Nygma in this movie.
It was Edward Nashton or some other guy.
Yeah,
I didn't catch that.
He wasn't even Edward Nygma.
When they capture him in the diner, they pull his wallet and it's two different license.
What's
two
the
different
point
names.
of that?
And it was just like,
who
are you?
Because they're trying to ground it so much in reality that the idea that his last name would be Nygma.
Basically, they're doing is they're going full Zodiac route because there are so many people, so many suspects with the Zodiac.
Yeah,
they're trying to do the same exact thing where it's like he's multiple people, multiple names, or whatever. They don't know who his true identity is,
Honestly, what would have been really cool is if, like...
Which I think it works better with Joker.
The Riddler was
Yes.
But if they did that, the Riddler was like a mantle that people picked up and became the Riddler, which they kind of do at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but like,
scale.
You're starting to get away from like, don't call this Batman anymore. You're going to change everybody's name and you're going to pull any of these characters.
It's better than that Batman vs. Superman where they never call him Batman in the movie. They call him the Bat of Gotham or like...
Oh, really?
Man,
I didn't know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they like. I don't even think they ever call him Batman in that movie.
But like, you're getting so away from why people love Batman. Like, don't be ashamed of who you are. Like, don't like hide your roots.
That's and
it's like telling Bruce Wayne, like, just be you.
Just be you. We like you the way
you're allowed to smile. It's not against the law.
We get it. Your parents died. Just get over it.
But I like the Gotham that they bring up because the Gotham is very it's gothic. It's very Tim Burton-ish.
Even to the point of like the because it's not Wayne Manor in this. It's like Wayne Tower,
Yeah.
right? In this movie.
Yeah, it's whatever. He doesn't have Wayne Manor. But here's what I'm
it's
thinking.
very gothic.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm thinking. Is that at one point in the movie they go to an orphanage out in the country. I'm thinking that's going to end up being Wayne Manor.
That
Like
could
later
be
on.
cool.
Like
That
because
would be cool.
when they pulled up, I thought that was Wayne Manor, and then it turned out it was the orphanage.
They're gonna
instead.
have to evict those junkies.
Yeah.
In that movie.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys got to go. It's bad for the kids.
Man, it's Junkies XL in this orphanage.
Good time. Good time.
Or it'd be kind of cool if Bruce Wayne started going down that route of like he started the orphanage again, and that's where.
Yeah.
And then like there's that the kid in the beginning of the movie, he beats up that gang,
Yeah.
and then there's that kid that has like the half painted face.
Right.
Maybe Robin.
Yeah, it could be like a like
the
a
rumor I
Tim
read
Drake or something.
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet is in talks for Robin,
Really?
or that's who people are wanting.
Oh no, I don't think that'll happen. That's
Um,
too.
I've seen that in a few articles. So.
He's too close to look like him. That it'd be.
I
like,
want to see. I do want to see a Robin at some point. We haven't gotten Robin since the Schumacher days.
if they do it
Well,
right.
technically with Joseph Gordon-Levitt,
That doesn't count.
it does. He was Robin.
Yeah, at the very end of the movie.
Still Robin. Still Robin.
No, I want to see
Well-
costume and all.
Yeah. Well, one thing that a lot of people complain about, they're like, I want to see like a 13 or 14-year-old Robin. Like, I want to see Robin when he's young. And they keep hiring these Robins that are like 2021. You're like,
Yeah,
that's not
Chris O'Donnell. We can get Chris O'Donnell back as Robin.
for laundry.
Yeah, but I don't know if you get away with having. You're more lucky with like Ace the Bat Hound coming back than a child
Who's
Robin.
Ace the Bat Hound?
Exactly.
It
How
would feel
about,
weird. It would feel like Shia LaBeouf swinging from branches.
Yeah.
You know, it feel weird like having like a little kid.
I
like,
mean,
There's
come
something
on.
very irresponsible about Batman having a child, and he's like,
Yeah.
he's like, go beat up those guys. Like, you wear the bright yellow outfit, I'll wear the dark
Well,
one
that's a-
that hides into the
that's a-
shadows.
That's what was that? It was a cartoon, one of those animated movies. They actually bring it up where it's like Robin he basically wears the brights so they're more attracted to go
Oh,
fight
really?
him and well, not like attracted.
Yeah. I know what you meant. Yeah,
Boy.
Yeah.
It's more like he's like it's like a bull running towards
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
bright colors that Batman sweeps in and cleans
Interesting.
up pretty much.
Bait.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Very
Well, that's what
interesting.
they say. Like the yellow logo is like Batman wears all black,
Yeah.
and the yellow logo is supposed to be a bright spot for people to shoot guns at on his chest because
That's cool.
That's the
Yeah.
most armored.
That's,
Not
his,
in this
that's
one.
his most vulnerable spot.
Not in this
Yeah.
one.
That's why he doesn't wear the bat signal on his crotch. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
shoot here, guys. Please.
It's like Dumb and Dumber when he's like the dream sequence and it's like her
the headlights.
Do you? Okay, honestly, I don't know if we've talked about this before. Do you guys like Chris O'Donnell as Robin? I liked him as Robin.
Yeah.
I thought he was fun.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
I don't like Robin.
I
so-
like Robin. He was fine. Yeah, he was fine.
Yeah.
in it.
I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt in the costume would have been cool.
Yeah, I think so too.
I like Nightwing, but I don't like Robin.
Okay. Yeah, I think you've actually brought that up.
Nightwing's
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
and they actually do bring up Bloodhaven in this movie.
Oh, they do.
She talks about how she's like Gotham is a lost cause. I'm going to go to Bloodhaven, which is
Oh,
Robin's
shit.
stomping,
Oh, I didn't know that.
stomping
Okay.
grounds,
Very
basically
cool.
when he becomes Nightwing.
That's fun.
basically,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, there's, but it's weird because the movie ends off with No Man's Land, the comic book, which is pretty much like in the No Man's Land comic book, an earthquake hits Gotham and
Oh,
it's declared martial law, and then
Okay.
all the villains basically take over territories in Gotham City.
love
So it's
that.
like Penguin's got his own area. Did you ever play Arkham City?
I played, I think the first and the third one. I never played the second one.
Okay,
Second-
That
but-
makes sense because
second's
that's
awesome.
supposed to be the best one, right?
It's
yeah,
incredible.
it's the
Yeah.
best one. But everybody's got their own territories. So it's like Poison Ivy owns Poison Ivy.
Poison Oak.
Poison Oak.
Poison Oak.
Oaky.
Poison Ivy owns like the park, like the Central
Yeah.
Park,
Okay.
and it's like stuff like that.
The
That's
so,
cool.
botanical
That's cool.
gardens or
So we
whatever.
might,
So it's like Warriors for Batman?
yes,
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
yes. So that's essentially what happens at the end of this movie. So I'm wondering if we're gonna get Penguin's territory, maybe like a ventriloquist.
I would love to
Scarface
see-
territory.
Yeah.
That'd be dope. Okay. I like that.
I think we're gonna see some other villains. It's weird too, because like what you're saying, like all the grounded villains
Yeah.
are like kind of handled in this movie, and that's it.
Or how
Yeah.
about what's his name? The
Scarecrow would be awesome in this universe too.
the one guy
Yeah.
I would love to see is a oh god, what's his name? The guy that's all about obsessed with time, the clocks.
Clock King.
Yeah, Clock King. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
He was like kind of a guy that he planned all the heists. He like plans everything and is like the overseer.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like everything is like, you can't get him because he's all so calculated.
That sounds awesome.
He thinks so
That
far
sounds
ahead
really
of the
cool.
future. You know,
Yeah.
which
I would
is
love to
awesome.
see. This is a random one. Phantasm.
Dude, Phantasm would be dope
Oh,
as
man.
shit.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
love
It'd be cool to bring Phantasm
especially with
into
Selena
the
Kyle
movies.
leaving. You have a new love
That would be
interest.
cool.
and
Yeah,
then
because
you-
I don't want to see Catwoman in the next movie.
Oh, I don't either.
Because I don't want this whole like. I would like to see Catwoman in the third movie.
They
I don't want to see
return.
this like Catwoman comes
They're
back
not
every time.
not going to
and-
put her in the next one. They're going to bring her back. for
No,
the
I
next
don't think
one.
so.
I think so. She
I
was
think-
such a hit with it. They're not going to be like, let's just sit this
No,
one
that's the-
out.
no, we're gonna get an HBO's Max TV show for Catwoman.
Right.
Actually, I wouldn't mind that. Catwoman
She will be back. I guarantee she'll be back in the second one.
I don't know.
There's
There's a
they would
lot
not-
that could happen, but I do feel. I will say this: I feel more hopeful about the future for certain Batman villains in this
I am
universe
too.
than I did after I saw The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Oh,
am
I
too.
totally disagree. I think what's the director's name?
Matt Reeves, Chris Nolan.
Chris Nolan. I think Chris Nolan would have taken more chances with villains. Like
No,
yeah,
No.
putting Scarecrow in that
No.
movie, totally unexpected. I do not see a
Yeah,
Scarecrow.
no, I'm
in
talking
this
about-
universe.
but he reused him in multiple movies.
Yeah, but he took chances with these villains. I don't think.
I'm
we're
saying
gonna
this
have
about
him in this.
Dark Knight. Sorry, not Batman Begins, because Batman Begins did have hope because they had like a kind of a stylized Gotham
yeah,
and
that-
it wasn't as grounded.
That movie.
But with Dark Knight, it was like as soon as it got over, it was
Okay, this
it
is
was like
the-
okay, they
yeah.
are definitely they grounded the hell out of this.
Batman,
We're
yeah.
never going to see him.
Batman Begins was the closest we would have gotten to like a Mr. Freeze or Clayface because
Yeah.
of how
Yeah.
fantastic the everything was, especially with the nightmare sequences and stuff. But
Yeah.
like you said, that when they released Dark Knight, that was basically okay. This is like a
Yeah.
flattened,
Yeah.
grounded basically.
Yeah, because
Dude,
I would like a Killer Croc.
I was thinking Killer Croc. You know, actually, give me like an American Werewolf in London with a man bat though,
That'd be cool.
and like you see his transformations, and it's like this horror bat
Yeah,
movie.
That'd be
that would
awesome.
be awesome.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be kind
Um,
of cool to get a monster movie in there.
Yes,
Yeah.
that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Well, no, let's actually talk about the last character we really haven't touched on in this, other than Commissioner Gordon, who does a very good job. Jeffrey
Oh, I
Wright's,
love him.
Jeffrey Wright's awesome in
Great.
everything he does.
Yeah, I could use a little bit more.
I
I'll
agree.
say that
Yeah.
just to kind of be brief about Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to see his family life.
Yeah.
I
That would've
kind
been
of
wanted
wanted to see
Yeah.
like I kind of
Introduce
wanted to
Barbara
see
Gordon would be
Barbara
cool.
Gordon.
That would be
Yeah.
really
I
cool.
wanted to
actually.
see like him having a wife and
I did love the scene where he's in the interrogation room with Batman.
Yeah.
He's like, now I'm gonna give you the keys and you're gonna punch me. And then
Yeah, the way he was like looking in his face like he was gonna do something.
then
It
you're
was
gonna
yeah.
escape through the back door.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
That's
Like,
awesome.
The humor in that was really good.
And it's like just so cool because like he's been working kind of secretly or whatever with Batman. And
Yeah.
nobody
everyone-
else is.
Yeah, but this is like he really wants to make sure he's not caught or killed or
Well,
arrested. Or
I'll tell you
anything.
what, since we're on this scene, I did not like the squirrel suit.
Oh, it was fine for me.
I think it's cool.
Well, you know what?
And I like that
our-
he fell after it.
Our brother brought this
Well, here
up.
I'll bring it up after you talk about
Our
it.
brother
Yeah.
brought this up to us after we watched it. He's like, I hate the squirrel thing because it's like, what the hell's the point of Batman wearing a cape? And I was like, yeah, what is the
Well, he
point
loses
of Batman
he
wearing
loses
a
the
cape?
cape after the squirrel
Yeah,
suit.
but is this okay? I gotta watch again. Is the squirrel suit a part of the cape?
It might be the cape itself.
Okay, because like honestly, I just rather have like that's one of those things. I'm like, I know the Nolan movies just did that.
Yeah.
Just do it again. It's
Well,
really cool.
Here's what I'm thinking. This is year 2.
okay.
Year 2 of Batman.
Yeah,
When he preps himself, I don't know if you guys caught this. When he preps himself with the suit and prepares to jump, he's actually legitimately scared about what's about to happen.
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
He has never done this before.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling if they do more of this in the future, he's going to transform this. He's going to be like, the squirrel suit does not work. It's stupid. I'm Batman.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna transform or use my money to basically turn my cape into the flying.
Maybe.
sequence.
That's a good point. Now it's
I
like
didn't
maybe
think it was that the squirrel suit didn't work. I think he just didn't know how to handle it.
But
Oh,
the
yeah,
with the,
for sure
with
it
the
was not-
crash
it wasn't-
landing.
It wasn't optimal for what he was trying to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good observation because yeah, with the crash landing, he
Because
got
there's no way-
hurt,
there
it's
was-
like it makes sense that he'd be like, I need to refine this. a
and there
little
was
bit.
no way for him to really land too.
Yeah, do you guys think?
Oh
His
no, I think it was
costumes-
just a horrible way he did it.
Well,
Well, he
he got-
chose to try to land right under a bridge.
Yeah, on a bus, and then
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
awesome. I love seeing him.
Yeah.
Dude, I think that was my like favorite parts about this movie is that this is a Batman that's like still so new to
Which
to
is
us.
awesome. Yeah.
He's getting rocked on
Yeah.
the landing.
The
He's
double
getting-
shotgun
he's getting
barrel to the
the double
chest.
barrel shotgun to the chest was awesome. And
Yeah.
him getting shot multiple times and like rocked, it's
Dude,
awesome.
speaking of, show me a James Bond movie where he's learning like that.
Oh yeah,
Like even
dude.
like pre like Daniel Craig, like 007, but like he's kind of he's fumbling around a lot. He's still trying to like
he
I'm
pulls out
trying to-
he
yeah.
pulls out his gun and tosses like Jamie Lee Curtis in True Lies, where he falls down the stairs and shoots everybody.
I love that. But Riddler.
Harry!
So yeah, Jeffrey Wright, I expected him to do great. He did
Yeah.
just as I
Yeah,
expected. Paul Dano, Girl Next Door. What I always remember him as
The third leg of the tripod.
they're like a
Yeah.
tripod.
We're a fucking tripod.
Yeah, he's good at
And that's
it.
what he says Batman at the end. When Batman confronts him, he's like, you and me, man, we're a tripod.
What?
That doesn't make any sense.
Is this a riddle? Or
Who's the third leg?
who's the third leg?
Paul Dano was good in this. I enjoyed.
I really liked him a lot.
Yeah.
I love the voice that he does with the like the riddles.
Yes.
Very menacing. And I just love at the end, just like he kind of goes nuts, because his whole plan is falling through and stuff. But yeah, I think he does a great job. I think he's like one of those actors that's very versatile. And
Yes.
it just like, I mean, you can watch him literally in Prisoners, where he's basically kind of like this Edward Nashton or Nashington character, where he's just kind of quiet and kind of like timid or whatever.
Yeah.
But then he goes batshit crazy, like he's Eli from There Will Be Blood, the priest.
Never saw it.
Oh, yeah.
He's
never saw
awesome.
it.
He's really good in it.
I've
Yeah.
heard. I need to watch it.
Yeah.
It's- yeah.
Beautiful looking movie.
But yeah, like other than that, like what else you want to touch up on? Like we've touched on the cast, which is solid. Score is great. I mean, the directing is good. The cinematography is cool.
I think honestly, what I'll say is if like kind of like to finalize my thoughts
yeah.
is that I think it's an awesome movie. And I think it did a great job building a universe that seems like it's going to develop.
Yeah.
If what we're talking about with his suit, if his suit starts changing like movie to movie and it gets better, or like if his character starts getting like
I mean, he's
softer almost,
dude,
like
he's definitely going to get more wise, because like he messed up on just the Spanish part of that riddle, the Rata versus
Yeah.
L.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like I took Spanish, and it's definitely like,
well, he said something. He says like Riddler screwed up. He didn't know how to spell, so he blames it on the
Oh.
Riddler. He's
But,
like, oh,
like,
he messed up on his
But
spelling.
my thoughts is like, I don't know Spanish well enough, but I know like the difference between law and L, just like Oswald is like law, L, like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think he's gonna get a little bit wiser with his detective skills.
I think so too.
And,
But I think that's the thing. Like, I don't want to say I love this movie for what sequels could be. I don't want to like it for that reason.
Yeah.
I want to watch it on a standalone
yeah.
and pretend like there's nothing gonna be nothing else.
So you just wanted this movie to just end as like,
When that's why they promoted it.
done.
Reeves said that when he made it, he promoted it as like a one-off. He was like, that we weren't going to focus on any other sequels. So walking into that, you expect that. And I just felt like the way we're talking is like, I can't wait until later. This was set up for later. And it's like, yeah, but I want to look at this as the now. I don't want to be like,
Yeah.
I can't wait for 4 movies when he does this. Like,
I think
you know?
considering like the last iteration where we got multiple Batman movies was the Christopher Nolan, and we kind of got a waste of movies with Justice League and Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
I'm like back to being excited about Batman movies again.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Batman franchise, Batman series, Batman
I
stories.
It's
and-
okay. So out of a letterbox rating, I'd give this a 4.5 out of a 5
I
star.
don't know what
right?
that means. Okay. Out
95.
of a
Hold on,
out of a cookie score.
Hold on. Like it's a 4.5 out of a 5 star, right?
Oops, sorry.
And I would give like Dark Knight like 5. Because I do have to
Just what's
separate.
the Rotten Tomatoes? Just
hold on.
I know.
I'm explaining something. I'm not doing Rotten Tomatoes right now. I'm not ending the podcast. I'm explaining something.
Okay.
As a fan of movies, but also as a fan of Batman, I think this is the best Batman movie like ever made. I love 89 Batman, but I think it's the best Batman movie ever made. I think 89 Batman's about a 4 stars out of 5, right? And I think Dark Knight is like a legit like cinematic achievement.
Mm-hmm.
It is like one of those movies that in like 100 years,
Like, how's this possible?
yeah, on 100 years, people are going to talk about that movie.
Okay.
So it's like a 5-star movie, but I like this movie better than that movie. This is kind of my ratings are kind of weird.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can kind of see it.
So it's like as a Batman fan, yeah, this is my favorite Batman movie.
That's interesting because I get what you're saying. Like, this is a better made movie, but I think Batman 89 is better than. Like, I would give Batman 89 a 5. I'm not doing this 5 thing. I would say
No,
nice
but
try.
I just fell for it.
I'm not falling into your hipster crowd, bro.
Damn.
I would rate Batman 89 higher than this.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
it's
think
like
fair.
Yeah.
like I would and like I'd honestly I'd probably give Batman 89 the same score. I think there's some problems with Batman 89 that have always bothered me. But from a cinematic perspective, dude, Batman 89 is a friggin' achievement,
That is a
man.
massive achievement.
It is like
Considering
crazy.
it was like
The
what was
art-
it, 30 plus years after the movie or the TV show. Or yeah, we 20
like 20.
20
like
yeah,
20
sorry.
something years. But like it's such an achievement. I mean, like just the way it's like everybody's like the art design that goes into that is just crazy.
For which one?
For 89.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this movie, The Batman, is for me a better Batman movie. As being as a lifetime Batman fan, it hit all the right marks for me. Where I was like, I love this city, I love this kind of Batman, I love these villains.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, and I want you to be both of you completely honest. What has more rewatch value, this or 89?
Oh.
Well, it's
Like what
that's
sounds
gonna be tough because I've grown up. I was like Batman 89. I think it was literally the first movie I ever saw in theaters,
yeah.
and so I think it's hard because I grew up with 89, and I've only seen this Batman movie once.
That's fine.
Yeah, this is tough.
I
I don't know if I can answer this
I
one.
would say 89 because 89 is more of a like, yeah, that's enjoyable. It's fun. Put it on. I feel like this is like a commitment, like 3
That's
hours
fair.
to kill.
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
I would say Dark Knight has more rewatch value than this one. I don't know.
would say this has more rewatch value than Dark Knight.
Really?
Yeah, because I will say the problem
think
with the
that might be
Nolan,
accurate.
the Nolan movies is like I feel like when I watch them, I've got to watch all of them. Like I can't just watch one of them. I've got to watch all of them. I either watch Batman Begins or I've got to watch the entire trilogy. I can't watch one out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
With this, I mean, it's a single movie, so I can watch it.
Okay.
It might change
but that's
over
also
time.
it might change over time.
But that's kind of how I feel. I mean, like, as far as like Nolan movies, it's like if I watch one, I have to watch the rest. It's kind of how I feel about like the Star Wars, like the new
Back
Star
to the
Wars.
Future.
Back to the Future. I gotta watch all of them. New Star Wars, like, decreased over time because of Rise of Skywalker being POS, basically. But like, I mean, I could watch 89 probably whenever. It's honestly probably been since the podcast when we did our episode on 89 Batman.
Okay.
Since I watched it, so it's been about like 6 years, maybe.
Is it really? Yeah, I guess it has been
5 or 6 years since we did that.
I think I watched Batman, like, and that's what I mean. This is hard to say, dude. I think Batman 89 might be the most movie I've ever watched.
Yeah, it was on constant.
The most of a movie I've ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I just watched it last year again.
Yeah.
And it's like,
but I think like
that movie's it's so much fun to watch. But I don't consider it the cinematic achievement that The Dark Knight is.
Yeah.
But I think like every iteration of a Batman being introduced, it kind of changes the scope or the changes the game. Like when you introduce like the 89 Batman, like that is a crowning achievement as far as like, holy shit, we got this new like crazy dark little Dark Knight or whatever, like a darker version of Batman. Then we get the Nolan Batman. You're like, oh, holy shit, we can do like this kind of stuff, like flying around and like nightmare sequences and that kind of stuff. And then when you get like this, I'm going to exclude the Ben Affleck only because we haven't had a standalone Batman.
Sure. You know, this was supposed to be his standalone.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. But with this one, I feel like it again changes the game as far as like introducing these characters in a new kind of Gotham world or whatever. You got a Batman that's not in his prime yet. He's still learning. So it does a lot of interesting things for me that really kind of changed the game for me.
Okay.
So that we haven't seen in the last iterations. Of first entries for Batman.
And I agree with you. I think something that you kind of said made me like think of this, but like if you took away the cape and the mask from Batman and just made it some guy who inherited his parents' money, would it still be a Batman movie? I don't think it would.
It almost was this, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, because you're talking about
what's his name? Who did Requiem for a Dream?
Aronofsky. We talked about this on the podcast.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he was
he
tried to make a Batman with no cape.
It was like he works in a mechanic shop. He drives like a Mad Max car, even though it kind of drives the car.
Yeah, he doesn't wear a costume. And I was like, dude, I am so glad that never came.
Honestly, take away the Batman stuff. Would you think this would have been a Batman movie if he didn't have the costume? Because I don't think it would have been.
Of him like just street like using his like
just being some guy who has money and he's just being a detective. Do you think this would be a Batman movie?
That would be interesting.
Just take away the costume. Is this still a Batman movie? Because I don't think it is. Because I don't think the Penguin represents the Penguin. I don't think the Joker represents the Joker.
Oh, you only get Joker for 2 seconds.
Selena Kyle, or I meant Riddler and
Riddler.
Penguin. I don't think Selena Kyle represents who she is. So I think if you take away, I think the only thing that makes this a Batman movie is just his costume.
Really?
No,
Yes.
I disagree.
Now that I think about
Yeah,
it,
I think I gotta disagree with that because
Yeah.
it's like
That's
there are elements in there where it's like the Bat car, the
Yeah.
signal.
it's
the,
not a bad car; it's just a big car.
Commissioner Gordon.
It's just a cop.
Yeah,
It's
but
not,
it's
that doesn't
always
define who Batman is.
Yeah, but do you
though.
really want Penguin to look like a penguin?
I love Batman Returns.
And there you
Okay,
go.
there you go.
That sums up the podcast.
Yeah,
Batman Returns is not the best.
I think it's fun.
Uh,
I think it's a fun movie.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Well, okay, I know we're not going to wrap it up because every time we like end off now playing, I'm sure we're going to talk some more. But okay, 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think I'm going to give this I'm going to go with a 78. 85 on Rotten Tomatoes, I'm going to give it a 78. I think it's a good movie, a little long, but it's still fine. I wanted to have more fun with it, as I've said like 19 times during this podcast. I just wish it was more exciting. I wish there was more of a threat. I did not feel the threat that I felt with like Batman Forever. Like, even though it was like cheesy, like he's stealing people's
Jeez.
brainwaves. Yeah. At least there was like a threat to the city. I feel like I didn't feel like the like, oh man, this guy's dangerous. I didn't feel that with this.
But
And
I'm
I didn't,
kinda-
hold on. And I didn't feel that with like Penguin either. So I just kind of
Mm.
felt like they were like, yeah, they're just kind of criminals. They're just kind of like low lives. Let's just go get them. Like, I didn't feel like that big epic threat of Bane or
Yeah.
the Joker. I did not feel that. And I think that's what this last act missed. And that's what I was waiting for when like the Riddler was like, here's my big plan. And I was like, okay. Like, all right, that's cool. I was waiting for like the cities to be flooded and like this big intense scene. And it never really went that way.
But it did.
I don't think it did.
The city literally flooded.
They showed like a couple streets flooded.
It
And then they
literally-
spent the last like 30 minutes inside the
it
dome.
literally does an overview shot of the city. It's all flooded.
But like nothing happened. It was just kind of like, here's a couple streets of water. And they're like, all right, now to the dome.
yeah,
I don't know. And like the fights were cool. I think the fighting was cool.
fight was phenomenal.
Martial arts were cool. The score was phenomenal. The score was probably the best part of this whole movie. Acting was good. I think that's my biggest flaw. Is I just wish it was more fun. That was.
I will say, I'm glad the threat wasn't extremely.
You know, what, I'll go
large.
80. I'll go 80%.
Okay.
80% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm glad the threat wasn't so large because the problem was when the threat is large, you got to keep elevating that every damn movie. Like, look at where Marvel is right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not even on planet Earth anymore because like the threat level has
Dude,
been
Tyrese
raised so.
and Ludacris are in space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the threat level has been raised so high in the Marvel movies that they have to like they're literally in space and they're like,
No,
we-
I mean
like,
it's like now it's transcended time and space now.
Yeah.
Like it's like now it's multidimensional.
Oh, speaking
Planes of
of, even though I made a
existence.
joke,
Yeah.
like the Fast and Furious movies are in space. So like, where do you go from there? I swear, mark my words, I would not be surprised if there's a Fast and Furious movie with time travel,
Oh, yeah.
and I would be
Yeah.
totally on
Yeah.
board.
I would.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, speaking of now we're talking about Fast and Furious. Before I
Yeah.
get my final score, or whatever. There was a part because I had showed you guys the
Oh,
family when it showed all the Riddlers on the catwalk and they're all like marching to like their spots. I look over to the Chris, it's like family.
There's an awesome video of like 30 people dressed up like Vin Diesel chanting family.
family.
Just type that in 30 Vin Diesel's chanting family and do a search engine.
But yeah, 80% for me. I will rewatch it again. I will buy the score. I'll definitely buy the movie. It was good. I just want to have more fun. And who knows? Maybe-
You're gonna see more of it. You'll go and see the next movie.
Oh, for sure. I gave it an 80%. So yeah, I liked it. I wanted to love it. I think that's the problem. I wanted to be wowed and I wasn't wowed.
Yeah.
That's my only problem. So Hanto, what do you got?
Well, you're wrong. Well, I mean, not you're wrong.
You're wrong. It's my opinion.
No, it is your opinion.
You're wrong about your opinion.
I meant to say I was wowed. I did love this movie.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it like around a 92
Okay.
at the time of this recording.
Yeah.
It's probably going to continue to grow from there.
Okay.
Too.
Okay.
I think the length was awful. The length is no movie should ever be 3 hours long unless you have an intermission in your movie. It should not be 3 hours long.
Agreed.
I mean,
wasn't it originally 4 hours?
it probably was.
I thought I
On
read
the-
4 hours,
on
but
the
I could be wrong.
cutting room floor. But
Yeah.
everything from like the action sequences to like the music, I was like in awe almost like the entire time. There were some parts in the dialogue that really kind of threw me off, where it's like I don't really understand where this is going.
Same.
But I think that's part of the problem with the runtime, where it's like I'm trying to hang in with the plot and the mystery and the whatever, And this movie was definitely going the route of like a noir film, you know?
Yeah.
And noir is notoriously like the hardest genre for me to get into. So
Really?
I think
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I think that's part of why I was like having a hard time with like the mystery and like the connection between these characters and stuff and like the whatever. But yeah, I think 92 at the time of this recording, which is March 16th.
Oh my god.
March 16th. But I think it will grow from here.
Okay.
I think this is a classic. I think this is going to be one of the best comic books movies ever made.
This is such a big buildup.
Ever.
You're giving like timestamps.
Yeah, why'd you get timestamps if we're not going to release this episode till May?
Well, I'm just letting people know that when we do release this, this is March 16th when we record it.
Yeah.
I probably will see it again by the time this is released.
You really built up that speech. That was like your MLK Jr. speech. Like, on this day, March, let it be known.
Hey, don't
92%.
Don't be jealous that my speech was a little bit better than yours.
Oh, it totally was. But we're not doing speeches.
All right,
Matt.
As of now, this is the best. Shut up. We listen to
you
you
he's trying
talk.
to talk me now.
As of right now,
say the date.
No, as of right now, this is the best Batman movie.
Okay.
It's like, for me, it's like sitting at a 90-95% right now. It's probably going to land on a 95%.
95.
And I feel like it had like the it's just the best. Oh, man, I don't know how to say how much I love this.
Yeah.
Just
say you're in a safe space.
It had noir vibes. It had horror movie vibes. It had Western vibes.
What Western?
What horror?
Horror.
Oh, yeah. Horror.
He's a serial killer.
Yeah. It's like 7 all over the space.
Yeah, the whole like.
But it felt like tamed down horror. It
I mean,
felt like
PG-13.
PG-13. Yes.
Oh, but like the Gotham itself.
I'm not talking
was
like
horror.
gore.
But even
Hold on.
like,
I listened to both of you talk.
Yeah, sorry.
And it's
on
my
March
turn to talk.
13th. That's JFK more.
Okay.
You're more JFK speech. Go ahead.
This is Malcolm X now.
But it has like, noir vibes, Western vibes, horror vibes. It's an awesome. We got like the world's greatest detective, which everyone is saying that they're most excited about. Finally, if we go back and listen to the first Batman episode we did, I talked about how I wanted like in a Batman movie a mystery story, and I wanted fighting.
Yeah.
And I finally got those two where it's like there's legit fight scenes in this where I'm like, awesome. Like he's beating the crap out of people and he's showing off his skill set. And he's using gadgets, which is really awesome. He's got a utility belt for the first friggin' time. My God, how hard is it how hard is it to put a friggin' utility belt into the Batman world? And like, for instance, every single Batman they've had so far has had just like this silver belt.
Yeah.
And it's not a utility belt.
Not Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton had a yellow belt. It didn't do anything.
Him and the Ghostbusters shared the same belt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Real quick, what are the things on his like bracers? Like,
I think that's the grappling gun.
Oh,
I think those are like I got to see it closer, but I'm pretty sure those are like
rad. That's super rad.
Yeah, because I want to say the Gatling gun is attached to his wrist, so it like
because
out.
every time he detaches, it's like off his wrist, basically.
Yeah, so it's not like an actual like separate unit. It's a part.
That's
of
awesome. That's incredible.
But like, Western vibes, like they both drive off on their own horses at the end.
Oh, well, they do that in Fast and the Furious when Paul Walker and Vin Diesel.
I thought this. I honestly, to God, I thought that when I watched the end of it, I was like, oh, this is total Fast and Furious. Rip off.
Noir, but it has noir film stuff
with
obviously.
The voiceover stuff.
But the horror stuff's great. So it's like this world that I'm like really excited that they're going to build upon. And I'm just, this movie, I can't wait to go see it again. I was not excited about a Batman movie.
Yeah.
When like any of the Dark Knight movies came out.
Yeah.
I thought they were all really good. And I was like, that's great. Like, I mean, I had fun watching them. But it's like, man, this movie sat like this whole week has sat like a song in my head that I can't get it out of my head. And I need to go see it again to get it out of my head. Rant over.
I mean, your 15-minute speech, that was incredible.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of like I didn't interrupt
either one of you.
Chris is looking like he just sat through 3 hours of the Batman all over again.
Oh my gosh, don't.
And I'll say that too. The time length, I don't give a shit about 3 hours. Give me 4 hours of a movie. I don't care. I have never.
I want more.
Me and Hodge are the complete opposite. We think every movie should be at 90 minutes.
I don't see it.
No, I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. You've said that before.
If I'm gonna get if I'm only getting one Batman movie for the next 5 years, I don't give a shit if it's 3 or 4 hours long.
Yeah. Oh god, I lost my train of thought because your speech was so.
Actually, I'm
goddamn
gonna
long.
disagree. I'm gonna say the opposite of Matt said. As a movie, it's good. As a
Yeah.
Batman movie, not one of my favorites.
Okay,
Because
That's
as
very
a
fascinating.
take away the mask and the cape, it's not a Batman movie. It only makes it
Yeah, I
Batman
don't
because he
agree.
So
has
what
a
if you do that
costume.
for every like the Michael Keaton? Take away the
You
costume.
got your
cape.
Joker, you got the epicness of it.
All right,
you
we'll
got,
take away
like, the
James
Gotham.
Bond's name. Are those any of those Daniel Craig movies? James Bond
No.
movies?
The Pierce Brosnan ones are.
Oh, so you're saying that's probably you're saying that's the problem with the James Bond movies is those aren't.
They're not. Yeah, I think the Bond thing is the same thing Batman's doing. We're like we're grounded and we're serious movies, and you're like, no, that's not what these are based on. They're
Yeah.
supposed to be fun, semi ridiculous movies to an extent. And
I don't
we
think they're
lose
supposed to be
that.
ridiculous. I mean,
No, I mean
unless
just
you're-
like not ridiculous, but like over what's the word where it's like over
can't help you out here. I don't know what
No,
you're
no,
talking
no.
about.
Like a heightened reality.
Oh,
What do you
I
call
see.
it? Kind of like where it's just a little bit like not realistic, but just a little
Just
bit
literally a comic book or a superhero movie.
like
literally a movie. Where
like
it's
a
not-
movie.
Where it's not real.
I gave me Ludacris and Tyrese in space.
Okay, there you go.
And that's all I asked for.
That's stupid.
I will
No.
say the
Okay, really quick. What
Oh,
was,
I know what I was gonna
what
say
was
now.
better, Fast and Furious 9 or this?
Okay, two answers.
if you say, "Oh my god,"
Two answers.
I'm leaving this podcast.
Two answers. This was a better movie. I had more fun with Fast 9.
Jesus Christ. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, my favorite part was talking about Batman before we saw this, even before you saw it, Matt. Was
Yeah.
we were talking about Batman. He's like, man, if they have like the bat signal in this movie, like it's just gonna be like count me out. And like
Oh,
literally
I
in the
heard him
first,
say, yeah.
literally in the first like 2
Yeah.
minutes, like bat signal. Where are you,
Yes.
Batman? And it's just like that's great. I was laughing in the theater.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
But
When I said that,
yeah.
yeah.
I was
was-
talking to you.
yeah, I hate the bat signal, but the way they use it in this movie was really cool because they never really used it in like a good way.
Yeah, but it worked so well because I love the introduction of this movie. Just to add one more pro to this movie.
Oh man.
But like when you're getting the voiceover and it's showing the 3 different groups of bad guys or whatever, 3 criminals, and they're like, he's talking about how the signal is a way to tell him that he's out and
Yeah.
ready to
Halloween
Yeah,
night,
crush
man.
some skulls.
Which I thought was cool.
And-
Matt really built this movie up. Maybe that's something that hurt. Is Matt really overhyped this movie for me?
I did. I told you that.
And you're like, it's so great. And you're like, I'm sorry. You're like, it's not that good. And I was
But-
like, it's too late.
I'll finish my thought real quick. But like every scene is them like focusing on a dark part of a city, whether it's an alleyway or doorway. And
Yes.
it's just like, oh,
And that's what I was
no.
going to get to because one of
You don't
Matt's
know if
build
it's-
up things was he's like, I can't get the first 10 minutes on
It's
my head.
cool. It's really
And
cool.
yeah, the first 10 minutes are solid. It's not
Really
what I
cool.
expected when you said that, but it's still really cool when it
And then you
shows
got
them
the,
like looking down the hallways and
yeah.
there's nobody there.
it's
but,
like
Yeah.
a slow like zoom in.
it's really
And
cool.
then-
Oh,
yeah.
it was. There's so much stuff I wish they didn't put in the trailer. I will say that.
yeah, I wish I just did
Um,
not watch a trailer at all.
But
for this
him,
movie.
like, dude, this I was against this movie. I was like, I don't think it's gonna be that good, and it doesn't look like anything special. Was my opinion. It was like I love the first trailer for it, and then my opinion started to change once I saw more trailers, and I was like, it kind of looks okay. And then in the first 10 minutes, it's like it's Halloween night.
Mhm.
This
Voiceover.
music that's building up.
Yeah.
Then you got his narration on top of it, and I was like, oh my god! I was like, this movie
Yeah.
is after my heart.
Yeah,
This
I think I was sold not on the trailer, but when they released the first theme song for Batman,
Yeah.
his theme song basically on Spotify. I listened to it, I was like, oh
Okay.
my god, this is
I hadn't
like
heard it yet.
I was like, this is on another level for
Okay.
superhero movies. Like every superhero score I've ever listened to, I don't know the theme song for Captain America. I don't know the theme song for
Same.
Thor or
Yeah.
whatever, Aquaman. Like Wonder Woman, I do because it's
Yeah.
like the guitars, or whatever.
Actually, yeah. It's
but
very
like this
memorable,
one, I was
yeah.
like, oh, holy shit, this is like something else.
Yeah.
So, final
Okay.
thought. That's my final thoughts.
Final thought,
Nothing else to say.
and it's okay. So if you don't have this in complete order, this is kind of like a off the top of your head type thing. If you had to rank this in your Batmans, like I said, this is not solidifying it. Like I'm just trying to think where I would put it, and I might put this like if I had to rank them, I might put this like 5th maybe. I might do like Batman 89, Nolan Trilogy, Mask of Phantasm.
Oh wow,
this.
Jesus.
So I might put this 6 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe 6th. So yeah, and that's off the top of my head. It'll probably change later on.
Okay.
But where would you kind of put this? Matt, you said this is already your number 1, right?
Yeah, this right now it's weird because it's like Batman
Yeah.
89 has been my number 1 for 30 plus
Yeah.
years. So it's like weird to sit there and bump it.
Did you go to Batman 89? You're like, you are my number one.
Batman movie. Yeah, that's like the voice for like the like how big the box office is for the commercial. Batman, the number one
Dude.
Batman movie.
Bob.
Bob. Yeah, by Bob.
By Bob.
Yeah, so it's like right now it's this weird kind of tug of war between. I want to see how it's going to be in like a year. Am I going to
Yeah.
like is Batman 89 going to bump back? To
It's
that
so
first spot?
hard to.
So it's either Batman 89 and the Batman at number one.
Yeah.
They're kind of.
Or just staying there right now. Is it number
and
one
then
right now?
Mask of Phantasm's 3.
Yeah.
The Nolan trilogy's 4, and then Forever, and
Yeah.
then I don't even think Batman. I'm not even going to place Batman and Robin.
So you're putting Batman 2022 at the number one right now.
As we're doing this podcast, yeah,
That's fine.
As
It's
a
just right
Batman,
now. It's okay.
yeah,
March 16th, 8:50 p.m.
On this day.
On this day
of infamy.
Batman number one.
What about you, Honto?
I think it's right at number one for me.
Okay.
I made this mistake when we did the Spectre episode. I mentioned several times where it's
Oh,
like
shit.
came back from Spectre's like best Bond movie ever made,
Yeah.
and now it's like literally like one of the bottom movies
Yeah.
of the entire franchise. But as it stands right now, I've been thinking about nonstop since we saw it last Saturday.
So you're basically wait. So you're just basically saying you're going to repeat the same mistake. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we'll see in the year if it holds up like it's a Spectre.
That is
or not.
awesome.
I
But,
love that.
That's why it's so hard to like make a decision because it's like
I
so
know.
fresh in my mind.
I just saw it a week ago, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm supposed." That's what I mean. I saw it a week ago, and I'm supposed to take a movie that I've loved for 30 plus
Yeah.
years out of the number one
Yeah.
ranking
Yeah.
after a week.
Yeah.
That's like being married to my wife for 30 plus years, and I just met a girl last week, and I'm like, you know what? I think we're gonna get a divorce. Like a week ago, I'm throwing away a 30-something plus year relationship with a movie and over a new girl.
That's how I felt about Spectre. I mean, as soon as I saw it.
No, I feel like with Spectre was like you went on like a Tinder date with Spectre,
Yeah.
and you're like, I love her.
Yeah.
I love her.
I proposed to her.
I proposed to her after one Tinder date. Like,
So yeah, as it stands, this is number one. I'm gonna see it again at some point.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you guys are interested, let's do sometime in the summer. We could do Batman month, and we could do some of the Nolans. We could do the Adam West movie.
I want to do the Adam West movie because I've grown to love the Adam West
yeah.
stuff.
Oh, I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
Oh my god, you gotta watch it with me and Chris. It's
Yes,
so much
that would
fun.
be a group watch for sure.
We laugh our asses off
Yeah.
watching it.
But yeah, we could do some of the Nolan movies. We can do the Adam West movie if you wanted to. And then we could, at that point, we could reevaluate again and be like, all right, well, we've watched these since. We've compared. Actually, I haven't watched the Nolan trilogy in a few years. I'm due for watching it. So.
I was watching some clips of Dark Knight the other day, and it's pretty good.
Yeah. So if you want to do Batman month, I'd be totally down.
Yeah,
So,
we did. Did we do Mask of
we
Phantasm?
did years
Yep.
ago. Which that's one, when we watched it, I thought it was boring. I watched it like a month ago and it was awesome.
It's pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
a horror movie.
I really
it's
like
so
Mask of
good.
Phantasm.
Yeah, it's solid. But yeah, so that's Batman 2022. I gave it an 80%. Matt gave it a 95, and Hanzo gave it a 92. Is that correct? So yes, it is a hit all the way around. Regardless if it sounded like I didn't like it, I did. I promise.
My God.
I
But
promise.
Fast and Furious 9 was more funner.
You're like Two-Face villain over here. Like, can't even get a judge on
I
if you
liked
it or not.
it. No, I did like it. I feel like
It's long. It's really long.
I just think there was more. I don't know. Maybe I'm being nitpicky.
Mickey?
Maybe
call me Nick Picky.
that Batman villain. That's what I want to
Nick-
see in the next movie.
Nick Picky.
It's me, Nicky.
You know, Batman, I don't know if I like you or not.
That's what. And every time
Why are you wearing a cape if you're wearing a squirrel suit?
It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
Are you still Batman without the cape?
That's what we should do a podcast called Nick Pickies. And then we just like we tear apart like 100% movies on Rotten Tomatoes.
Nick Pickies? We do
Yeah.
like Casablanca,
Yeah.
Citizen Kane.
The movies that are supposed to be like the top 100,
Perfect.
That's not bad. And
every
every time-
movies.
Every time we introduce the podcast, it's a different name. So it's like Dick Ticky and
Why?
Snick Mickey.
Why?
And
No, it's
Dick
Nick
Ticky.
Nick Picky.
Yeah, it's hard to remember.
No,
so it's
that's
always,
stupid. That's why would we change the name?
Matt, relax.
The point of the show is the name.
Yeah, that's the reason why
But
we're
the joke
nitpicking.
is we can have, the name is so like we don't remember it. We don't know what we're talking
I
about.
don't know what.
So that's
Louis doing
Batman
here.
2022. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any requests or any comments or anything whatsoever, you can hit us up on multiple social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram. What's our Instagram handle?
I think it's just at Cinemacle Podcast.
Okay. Yeah, you can hit us up there. You can also email us at
cinemacolepodcast@gmail.com or leave us a message on anchor.fm.
Yeah. And thank you so much for listening to this. We love doing it. We hope you loved listening to it. I'm Chris.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Honto.
And we'll see you next time.